give you this advice. Stay on the path.
What's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you back to Knicks Daily. I'm your host, Shia, and we're here for a Knicks Daily run. Check it out. I wanted to talk about IHart Gets. Damn, man. Damn. We lost Red Rocket. Damn. We lost a red-headed black man. Damn. To OKC. Yes, it's a loss. Yes, it is a tough loss, man. But you know what? Shout out to our guy Isaiah Hartenstein. Shout out to iHart, man. We knew there was a possibility. We knew there was a possibility that we would lose that man. We knew that the New York Knicks can offer but so much to him in order to really bring him back, in order for him to be comfortable enough. It's a lot for us to ask for him to sacrifice, to put on hold feeding his family for generations to come. It's a lot to ask of a man who's given an opportunity, and he took advantage of that opportunity, and he showed what he had in some of the toughest spotlights in New York market. It's a lot to ask that man to sacrifice for a team as opposed to cashing in. With professional athletes, you never know what's the next play that's going to impact your career. What you do know is that any professional sports organization is a business. So if that man was to tear up his knee or something, that offer ain't there no more. So anytime you get an opportunity and take advantage of what OKC did, OKC was just like, yo, we ain't playing no games. Bam. We ain't playing no games. What they offer that man? Where my notes at? 3 years, $87 million. Bam. Yo. Yo, 3 years, $87 million? Come on, son. Come on, son. Bam. 3 years, $87 million. That's what it is. So I respect him. You take care of your family, black man. You take care of your family, black man. Also think that he felt good because he gave his brother Mitch his spot back. Knicks fans, y'all funny as hell, man. Y'all are funny as hell. The New York Knicks fans sometimes just can't enjoy something good. You can't enjoy something good. You can't enjoy something positive, man. That man came here, played his behind off as a free agent. Him and Mitch at first were looking at each other with the side eye because Mitch seen the potential. But what ultimately happened was those two forged the bond, man, that made us have one of the most dominant 5 positions in the league. That's what helped propel us that far into playoffs. And had injuries not happened, first and foremost, what got us that far was that relationship and that connection. So that once Mitch stepped out of the way, Isaiah Hartenstein just stepped in and continued to push this thing forward. They don't get that good without pushing each other. But here we are, Knicks fans. Oh, you know what? We need to just sit Mitch on the bench. Mitch hopped on social media real quick. Was just like, yo, I don't care if I'm off the bench. That's my brother. Whenever I'm coming in, we got no drop off. If I'm starting, whenever he's coming in, there's no drop off. Our second unit's still going to be dominant. That's the attitude. So I think a little bit of it was they were both getting tired of it. You know, he's tired of it. Listen, if that's your boy, and every time you hop on social media, because that's what that generation does, they see something where fans are like, yo, we want Hartenstein, trade Mitch. You knew he felt sensitive about it was when he went on the Roommates podcast. And he was just like, yo, I don't know, man, I'm going to be traded. And then recently he responded to my boy Teg. Shout out to Teg, T-E-G. Follow that man on Twitter. Shout out to Teg. Was it Teg? I believe so. I apologize if I'm assigning the quotes. But he says something along the lines of, you know, Mitch, this is what you have to do, you know, to kind of get on your game. I apologize. I'm messing up the whole quote. But Mitch responded back. He was just like, yo, I'm on my grind. He was just, oh, no. He showed some highlights of Mitch when Mitch first got into the league. When Mitch was wiry, nothing but shoulders and wiry frame. Running like a gazelle from end to end. Blocking shots out of nowhere. 3-point line shots. And then lit a fire in Mitch. He was just like, yo, watch what I do to the league when I come back. Watch. So I loved it. I was just like, low key, I was just like, I ain't say it, loudly, because I know Mitch be on the socials. So one day if I go see Mitch in person, I need to dap. I can't have him looking at me sideways like, yo, didn't you say such and such? Okay, so I kind of got to keep my frame. But low key, I said high five to my guy who made that post, because you lit a fire in that man. That's what athletes need. They look for motivation in the most uncommon places and spaces. They look for motivation like that. So Mitch is fired up, man. The man is fired up. Okay, what it does do is it does leave a hole in terms of what our plan is. What does our rotations look like? Do we now do a small ball lineup where we have Julius at the 5? That's definitely a mismatch that a lot of teams are going to hate if we roll out. And if we're being honest, if the Golden State Warriors can do it during their championship run with Draymond Green at the 5, come on, man. If we talking about Julius Randle and Draymond Green outside of the defensive positioning in the slides, if we talking passing ability, Julius could pass. If we're talking about the 3-point threat, he brings more of that than Draymond brought. And he's strong enough to body up with a lot of bigs. So, that's something that's possible to look at, or it's possible to continue to develop Jericho Sims. And maybe Jericho Sims can fight for that spot. All right. So, that's something that we got to look at as well. But another thing I wanted to talk about with Isaiah Hartenstein, man, once again, I watch all press conferences and interviews, whether it's our team or not, and he was talked to, you could tell he had taken the Obi Toppin approach. What he looked like he wanted to do, he didn't want to disrespect his teammates. So he made sure he afforded the love that he needed to his teammates. He was just like, man, yes, it was tough leaving that locker room, this, that, and the third. But what you don't want to do is just speak so effervescently about the other team that it makes it look like to your current fans and to your current team that, you physically here, but mentally you ain't here. And I think Hartenstein, I think Obi did that 100% well. I think he did that. He did it to the point that we were Knicks fans were just like, yo, F you. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you ain't even look back. I definitely said that. I was in my feels, goddammit. I was just like, Obi, you don't love us? You ain't got no love from the New York Knicks and Knicks fans on death row? Well, let it be known then. Yeah, I was all in the fields. But Isaiah Hartenstein did a little bit better right away. He did the post on social media. He was like, you Knicks fans, this, that, and third, boom, boom, boom. Peace. That's all you got to do. Get a little shout out, man. Because we be going hard in the paint for y'all, man. And that's what he did. But it was a little bit of shots fired, though. If you watch some of the interviews with the media in OKC, Isaiah Hartenstein said, listen, man, when OKC rolled in, one of the things that they did that I enjoyed the most, they talked about my versatility. It gave me an opportunity to expand my game. And he started kind of insinuating that Tom Thibodeau was capping him, putting the ceiling on him. That's what he was insinuating. And every Knicks fan was talking about it. All these anti-Thibs detractors. Once again, this he can't grow. Nobody could grow into get rid of Thibs. Y'all mother flippers be killing me. But that's why it's called a system. That's why it's called a system. And that's why it's a system that won us 50 games last season. That's why it's a system that won us one more game more than we won the previous season. That's why it's a system that put us back in the winning category as a team in the largest, most pressurized city. That's why it's a system that allows us to continue to win when we had most of our starting lineup injured. That's why it's a system, because the players are clear with what their roles are. You don't do any more than that unless required. Look, the starting lineup goes down. We need you to tap into that offensive ability now. But prior to that, if everybody else is there, get on the ball. You block, you rebound, you run the floor. That's your role. It's called a role. It's called a role. LeBron James has succeeded at the highest levels. We ain't got LeBron James on the team, but you know what I'm saying. He succeeded at the highest levels throughout his career because any player that went to play with him, they had to be assigned a role and you had to play that role. Everybody was talking about Kevin Love. Everybody was talking about Chris Bosh. And the fact that, listen, you were dominating in Toronto, but when you started playing on the same team as a LeBron James, you had to pull that back. Now, yeah, you're a corner 3-point shooter. Yeah, but that's the role we need you play. You need you to play to win. And that's what he did. And now he's a multi-time champion and a Hall of Famer. So, yeah, I even remember when LeBron James was playing with the Cavs and he came to Madison Square Garden. This wasn't when he was bottle flipping, but he was injured that game and he was on the sidelines and he was watching, once again, the team beat us. And he was talking to Spike Lee, and he told Spike Lee, look, nobody knows what role they're playing. Everybody who touches the ball feel like they could take the shot. That's when we have Dave Fizdale as the coach. He said it right there to Spike Lee. He said, look, I'm looking at the Knicks. None of them know what their role is. Everybody who gets the ball is ready to put up the shot. I think that's when we had one of the twins. What's his name? I'm saying Moochie Norris, but his last name is not Norris. But the twins, the guy that was there before Randall, or he was there when Randall was there, but he was taking a lot of shots. And Randall wasn't sure, man, all right, do I call for the ball or whatever have you? That time, knowing your role and playing it to a T is important. And that's exactly what Isaiah Hartenstein did. That's exactly what he did. That's what got him the bag. You can say what you want about feeling captain and showing the type of game and how expanded your game is, but that limited cap-like game, that restrictive game got you 3 years, $87 million. You need to send a Christmas card and a new pair of those black shoes with the white soles to Tom Thibodeau for getting you paid. That's what you need to do. All right, stop throwing those invisible shots. Stop subbing our coach. Okay? The damn fizzle years. The Fizzledale years. All right? So that's all I wanted to say, man. Yo, shout out to iHart, man. Shout out to OKC. Y'all going to be good, bruh. Y'all going to be good, but you ain't going to be better than the Knicks. Shout out to New York Knicks. Keep this in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there is no struggle, there's no progress. But remember this, whether it's out there in the real world or here in these YouTube streets, here in Knicks Deli, everybody eats. I'm Shia, and I'm out. Peace.